Shabbat Shalom to everyone, and thank you for the honor of allowing me to share some words with you this evening. I take this as a great honor and a great responsibility. Jane and I have a new member of our family. Her name is Ella. She is a 9-year-old Airedale Terrier who we rescued. In May, it was necessary for us to put down our dog, Murray, who was a 9-year-old Airedale Terrier, who we rescued when he was 6 months old from the Topeka Animal Shelter. He became an important part of our lives and personally gave me a lot of companionship and love. He had cancer and his life needed to end all too suddenly. We mourn him. Dogs are not humans, of course, but the loss of a pet, a dog, is clearly a painful moment, and it's not healthy to ignore those feelings of loss. I believe that animals have souls. Though animals can't speak or exchange ideas as people do, they have a unique way of listening, responding, and communicating with us. Martin Buber, one of the great 20th century Jewish thinkers, observed that animals' eyes have the power to speak a great language. It has been hard to endure the pandemic without Murray. We have missed his love and companionship. And of course, a big family question arose. Do we want another dog? Do we want the responsibility? How would that impact our lives? But our love and need for a dog won out. We love Airedales, and we could have gotten another Airedale through a breeder. But we wanted to rescue a dog who needed a home, and when I started investigating the statistics, approximately 3.3 million dogs enter U.S. animal shelters nationwide every year. So we began a national search through various Airedale rescue organizations. About 3 weeks ago, Ella appeared online from a rescue organization in Michigan. Her story was horrible. She had had a life of hell. She basically lived outside tied up for 9 years. She was malnourished. She was barely housebroken. Her coat was very spotty, I think not from being malnourished. She has some kidney problems, and she is extremely dog aggressive. And she needed a home. The list of people who wanted her was non-existent. And Jane and I struggled with adopting her. Did we want to adopt a senior dog who has a limited lifespan? Did we want a dog who needed a lot of attention and work? You know the end of the story. We finally got her, and she is as sweet as sugar, but has issues and special needs. What finally convinced us? Let me speak for myself, because I don't have the right to speak for Jane. You can ask her. I am not a uniquely kind person. I have moments of kindness and moments of insensitivity. I have moments of sacrificial giving and moments of selfishness. Judaism tells me that this is normal because in Judaism we all have this internal struggle between the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer HaTov, the good inclination, the bad inclination, and somehow by balancing it out, things are supposed to work out. If I was not a Jew who took Judaism seriously, I would not have adopted Ella. But Judaism said to me that it was the right thing to do. Judaism is a religion of mitzvot, translated commandments. We do things because they are holy, and because God, whoever we think God is, commands us to do these things. The mitzvot call upon us to transcend our own needs for the needs of others. There is this important mitzvah. It is called Tsar Ba'alei Chayim, the suffering of the animals. In Jewish tradition, the suffering of animals is religiously inexcusable. Judaism teaches about this in many ways. Let me give you a famous midrash, a famous rabbinic story. While our teacher Moses was tending the flock of Jethro in the wilderness, a kid ran away from him. He ran after the kid until he reached Hashua. And upon reaching Hashua, the kid came upon a body of water and began to drink. When Moses reached him, he said, "I did not know that you were running because you were thirsty. You must be tired." He placed the kid on his shoulder and began to walk. The Holy One, blessed be he, said, "You are compassionate in leading the flocks belonging to mortals. I swear you will similarly shepherd my flock Israel." I love that story. The 16th century code of Jewish law, the Shulchan Aruch, clearly states that it is, quote, "It is forbidden, according to the law of the Torah, to inflict pain upon any living creature. On the contrary, it is our duty to relieve the pain of any creature, even if it is ownerless." The Talmud ordains that people must provide for their animals before eating anything themselves. In another 19th century authority, Hatam Sofer regards obligations towards animals as predicated upon emulation of divine conduct. Thus, he quotes the verse from the book of Psalms, quote, "His tender mercies are over all his creatures," referring to God, of course, as imposing an obligation upon human beings to show compassion towards animals. I could offer many more statements, but we get the point. Judaism demands sensitive treatment of animals, and we are called upon to prevent their suffering and to show them tenderness and love. I offer this message tonight not because I'm trying to show off how wonderful I am. I'm not so wonderful. I offer this message not because I call upon each of you to adopt a senior dog. That's a personal choice, and every one of you makes your own wonderful moral and ethical decisions that are certainly positive and sacrificial. My message is about the beauty of Judaism. It guides us in our everyday lives to a higher level of our humanity. It forces us to confront our own limitations and to move beyond them. It challenges us like a good trainer to see how much we can grow and transcend where we are in our current lives. It confronts our selfishness. It opens our eyes to the world and its needs. I love Judaism because it expects a lot from me. Because it says to me, "Alan, you can do better. You can be a better person. You can care more than you thought you could. You can love beyond what you believed was in your heart. You can give more than you imagined. You can make sacrifices. And when you do, you are showing your love of God, and you are in effect making real the divine in this world." Ella is not only a source of joy to us, she confronts me personally with the question, how much is your love of dogs just talk? And how much is it a real commitment based on your dedication to Judaism's higher moral values? I strive for the latter. Wish Jane and me good luck and patience. We need it. There is much suffering in this world, and we wish that we could address it all. Hopefully, we can bring some joy to this dog who has had a horrible life. And we pray that what she will demand from us will challenge us to confront more suffering in the world. Because Judaism says that is what God demands from us. Shabbat Shalom.